Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are tuning in. Thank you so much for joining me today for such Sweet Thunder meditation program. And today I will be offering a similar practice to the one I offered just a few days ago. We'll be doing mindfulness of emotions. Now, the reason why I do a second part of this is I want to offer mindfulness of emotions practice that is a little more sensitive to people who are carrying trauma in their body, or people who are carrying heavy emotions in their body, in their mind, in their heart. Because as you noticed if you tuned into my last episode, and don't worry, you don't have had to see that to receive benefit from this practice. Each episode of the Such Sweet Thunder series stands alone. So the reason why I'm offering this practice, which is going to unfold in a slightly different manner, we'll start with the sounds of the present moment. Then we'll open our eyes, take in the visual field. Then we'll come back through the body and do a body scan, and then into the breath. And then using the breath, body, sounds, the aural field, and the visual field as kind of an anchor, we'll then move into the internal field, any feelings or emotions which might be present. Now, the reason why we do that in this practice is because people who carry a lot of heavy emotions in their heart or trauma often feel that it's quite difficult to anchor awareness in the breath and in the body. And in fact, if we start externally, the way we will do today, we'll start with the sounds of the present moment and then visual field, as I mentioned, and so forth. We start outside of the body. It's much less confrontational. If people are carrying heavy trauma or emotion in their heart, in their body, when we start with mindfulness of the breath, that can feel very challenging. So as a way of circumventing that challenge, we'll start externally, outside of the body. Sounds, then the visual field, then coming back into the body, doing the body scanning and so forth, like that. And this is really just a way of allowing mindfulness and meditation practices to be accessible to everyone. It was often thought when people had these heavy emotional materials or trauma, and they couldn't feel the body, or they would get reactive to the sensations of the breath, teachers would often say, oh, you just need to practice more. You just need to try harder. And eventually, more often than not, those students would end up not practicing. They would end up quitting meditation. So this is a way of allowing meditation and mindfulness to be accessible to everyone. And I feel that's quite important. Now you'll notice during this body scan, during all of the body scan meditation practices that I offer, we invite the body to rest. So as we go through the body, and today we'll go from the feet all the way up to the head, and as we go through the body, inviting the muscles in the body to rest and grow soft. That resting process, or that resting quality of meditation, is quite important. In fact, the way I've come to see meditation, it's kind of a combination of resting in the body and looking at the mind. Looking at the mind and resting in the body. And so as we go through the practice, as we go through the body scanning, inviting the muscles in the body to rest, grow soft. Now, there might be an area of the body that has a lot of tension and quite sore, perhaps. That's fine. Just keep going through the practice. If those areas of the body are very tense, maybe they don't want to soften, they don't want to relax. You can't force relaxation, right? Because that just adds more tension. So if you notice an area of the body that's quite tense, just notice it, okay, just keep going with the practice. Now, you'll also notice that as we go through the body, we'll be noting feeling tones. Pleasant feeling tone, unpleasant feeling tone, or a neutral feeling tone. So if there is a soreness in the body, just note, okay, that's unpleasant. Most people would consider that unpleasant. So you say, oh, that's an unpleasant feeling tone. Maybe you come to an area of the body that's quite soft and relaxed. That's a pleasant feeling tone. Now, many people have large portions of the body that have very little feeling or no feeling. That's generally a neutral feeling tone. And that's really a lovely aspect of this practice, because now we have a way to relate to those areas of the body that have very little or no feeling. This neutral label gives us a way to look into that area of the body rather than just ignoring or pushing away from it. Now, when we get to the internal field, we open to any emotions or feelings which are present right now during this practice. We're not using this practice today to dig into the past, to dig up any kind of troubling emotions or trauma. I'm going to guide a meditation a few episodes from now in which we will do that. But today, we just look inside and we see, how am I feeling right now? Is there an emotion present? Is there a feeling present? And then you can label those feelings or emotions pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. So perhaps there's very little happening in the internal field, and that can happen sometimes. You might notice that and say, oh, that's a neutral feeling. Perfect. So in this practice, we're really turning our awareness to the internal field, to the feelings and emotions, and simply noticing what's there. There's no wrong or right about it. There's no wrong feeling or right feeling. There's no wrong emotion or right emotion. We're just noticing what's present during this meditation practice. And so the idea here is to keep the present moment as equal as possible. So we'll do the sounds, and so you can kind of think of it as a stereo equalizer. We're raising the sounds up in our awareness, like we would raise the treble on an equalizer. And then we bring in the visual field, and that's raising that leveler up to the same level as the sound. So you raise the visual field up. Now I just want to add here that if you find meditating with the eyes open too challenging, you don't want to do that, that's fine. I'm going to guide through opening the eyes, but if you wish, you can keep your eyes closed here at this point. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you do, you can also notice the patterns of darkness and light behind the eyelids. That's also an aspect of the visual field. So you might just want to do that as well, because oftentimes people find meditating with the eyes open quite challenging. It often takes quite a bit of practice, particularly if you've been meditating already for some time with the eyes closed. Okay, so raising the equalizer of the sounds up to mid-level, the visual field up to mid-level, then taking the body, bringing that up to the mid-level, the breath, same level, and then bringing the feelings and emotions up to that same level, like that. So the idea is to keep the present moment experience in balance. Now you'll notice awareness starting to fluctuate around. You'll start focusing on something, a sound perhaps, or you'll start focusing on the foot falling asleep or an ache in the knee. Whatever it is, that brings that leveler up higher than the other aspects of the present moment. So if that happens, we don't want to push that down, because that leads to repression. The idea is to then allow the remaining aspects of the present moment to rise up to that same level. So let's say that there's an ache in my shoulder that gets quite vivid. That's fine. Expanding out from that ache, we don't push it away. And allow the rest of the body to become as vivid as that ache in the shoulder. Then expanding out again to the sounds, allowing the sounds to rise up, to meet the body in awareness. If you have your eyes open, taking the visual field and so forth, like that. Now, this can be a challenging practice, not going to lie. It can take some practice and some time for this type of awareness to really settle. We're not used to having our awareness this large, that we're taking in this much of the present moment all at the same time. So that's quite unusual. And again, it can take some practice getting used to that. So always moving through meditation with a healthy dose of self-compassion, a feather-light touch, and just know that what we're trying to do here is to free ourselves from that narrow, closed down, contracted perspective that we typically have in our everyday experience, and expanding our awareness out to include the entire present moment. Okay, now I've done an exhaustive half an hour long introduction on this practice a week ago today. So if you wish, go to my YouTube channel or scroll through my Facebook page and you'll find Mindfulness of Emotions, a Dharma talk, where I go through this practice and really outline it in very fine detail. Now again, you don't have to have seen that to receive benefit from this practice today. Do stay tuned and follow along. I'll be guiding the whole time, more or less. There'll be some silence towards the end of the practice, but I'll be guiding for most of the meditation practice here. So as one of my teachers likes to say, the only bad meditation you do is the one you didn't do. So if you stay tuned and just meditate along with me, you're bound to receive some benefit. Okay, I've rambled long enough. I'm going to ring the bell, and then I'll ring the bell a few times as a way of grounding our awareness into the sense of hearing. So we're starting this meditation again with the aural field, the hearing sense. Okay, enjoy. So allowing the body, mind, and heart to rest. And just coming into this present moment experience. And I'll ring the sound of the bell again. Rest your awareness on the tone of the bell. Allow the fading bell to guide your thinking mind into silence. And as you rest in the silence of this present moment, you might also notice the sounds of this present moment experience. Not focusing on any one sound in particular, but noticing the entire field of sound. You might notice how the sounds interact with the field of silence. And I'll ring the sound of the bell again. Rest your thinking mind on the decay of the bell. Allow the fading bell to guide your awareness into silence. And while resting with the silence of this present moment, noticing the sounds, and again not focusing on any one particular sound, but noticing the entire canopy of sounds. Perhaps noticing how the sounds seem to cascade through the silence of this present moment. And can you notice the sounds free from their origin source? Try to hear the sounds as sounds themselves. And if at any time during the meditation you become distracted by your thoughts, simply label those thoughts with the word thinking, which will help the thoughts to dissolve. You can gently return back to the present moment experience. And now, while resting with the silence and sound of the present moment, allow awareness to expand again to include the visual field. And if your eyelids are closed, you can gently open them now. If you feel that this is a bit too challenging, you may choose to keep your eyelids closed. That's fine as well. If your eyelids are opening, simply allowing the visual field to hang in front of your eyes. Not focusing on any particular object or shape or color, but rather allowing the shadow, color, and light to simply hang in front of your eyes like a rich tapestry. And in addition to the shadow, color, and light of the visual field, also noticing the empty space within the visual field. The emptiness between yourself and any objects, and between the objects themselves. And so we'll rest right there for a few moments, maintaining open awareness on the sound and silence of the present moment. Shadow, color, light, and space of the visual field. Now, if you notice your awareness wanting to focus on a particular object of the visual field or a sound, that's okay, that's quite normal. If you notice that happening, allow awareness to then expand out from what you're focused on, to include all of the sound and silence, shadow, color, light, and space, and just rest. And again, if you become distracted by thoughts, labeling those distractions with the word thinking will help the thoughts to dissolve. You can gently return back to the present moment experience. And now, while resting with the sound and silence, shadow, color, light, and space, allow awareness to expand again to include the sensations of feet against the mat or the floor, inviting the muscles in the feet to rest, relax, and grow soft. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the feet. And allowing awareness to expand through the lower legs, inviting the muscles in the calves to rest and grow soft. The muscles over the shins can relax and unwind. Noting pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant feeling tones arising throughout the lower legs. Allowing awareness to expand through the knees, inviting the muscles in the knees to grow soft and relax. As awareness moves through the knees and into the back of the legs, from the back of the knee to the seat, inviting the muscles in the back of the legs to relax, rest, and unwind. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the back of the legs. As awareness expands through the back of the legs and into the seat, inviting the muscles in the seat to rest completely. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising as a result of the body's contact with the seat or cushion, chair, mat, or floor. As awareness expands through the seat and into the waist at the back of the body. And breathing in and breathing out, bringing attention back to the knees, perhaps noticing the sensations of clothing against the knees. And as you inhale and exhale, allowing awareness to expand through the quadriceps and the thighs of the upper legs, inviting the muscles in the thighs to rest and relax. The upper leg muscles, the quadriceps, can grow soft and unwind. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the upper legs. As awareness moves through the upper legs and into the waist at the front of the body. And breathing in and breathing out, just rest, maintaining even, spacious awareness on the sounds and silence of the aural field, shadow, color, light, and space of the visual field, sensations arising throughout the feet, the calves and the shins of the lower legs, sensations arising from the knees, the back of the legs and the top of the legs, sensations arising throughout the seat, and resting attention back at the waist at the back of the body. And while remaining in awareness of all of that, all at the same time, allow awareness to expand through the lower back, inviting the muscles in the lower back to rest and grow soft. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the lower back. And awareness expanding into the middle of the back, inviting the muscles in the middle of the back to rest completely. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the middle of the back. Awareness expanding into the upper back, inviting the muscles in the upper back to rest and relax completely. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the upper back. As awareness expands through the upper back and into the shoulders, letting any tension, stress, or emotion that's held in the shoulder muscles go. Inviting the muscles in the shoulders to relax and grow soft. Noting pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant feeling tones arising throughout the shoulders. And breathing in and breathing out, just rest, allowing awareness to expand again to include the abdomen. And again, you might notice the abdomen rising and falling with each breath. Inviting the muscles in the abdomen to relax, rest, and grow soft, letting any emotion or tension or stress that's held in the abdomen go. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the abdomen. As awareness expands through the abdomen and into the chest, inviting the muscles in the chest to rest and unwind. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the chest. As awareness expands through the chest and into the shoulders, Perhaps noticing the sensations of clothing resting against the top of the shoulders. And as you inhale and exhale, allow awareness to expand through the upper arms, inviting the muscles in the upper arms to grow soft and relax. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the upper arms. Awareness expanding through the upper arms and into the elbows and down into the forearms, inviting the muscles in the forearms to rest and relax completely. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the forearms. As awareness expands through the forearms and into the wrists and the hands, the palms of the hands and the back of the hands, inviting the muscles in the hands to rest, relax, and grow soft. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the hands and into the thumbs and the fingers to the fingertips. And breathing in and breathing out, just rest, maintaining awareness on the sounds and silence of the present moment. Shadow, color, light, and space of the visual field. Sensations arising throughout the feet, the ankles, the lower legs, including the calves and the shins. Sensations arising throughout the knees and the back of the legs, the top of the legs, including the quadriceps and thighs. Maintaining even awareness on the entire back. Sensations arising throughout the abdomen and the chest, and the arms from the shoulders to the fingertips. While maintaining awareness on all of that, all at the same time, bring attention to the shoulders. And as you inhale and exhale, allow awareness to expand through the back of the neck, inviting the muscles in the back of the neck to relax and grow soft. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the back of the neck and the sides of the neck, inviting the muscles in the sides of the neck to rest completely. Allowing awareness to expand into the back of the head, the entire back of the head, including behind both ears. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling tones arising throughout the back of the head. And expanding into the ears, both ears at the same time. And again, noting pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant feeling tones arising throughout the ears. Allowing awareness to expand through the cheeks of the face, inviting the muscles in the face to grow soft and unwind. Noting pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant feeling tones arising throughout the cheeks of the face. Including the lips, the nose, the eyes, including the forehead, inviting the muscles in the forehead to rest. Noting pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant feeling tones arising throughout the forehead. and expanding again into the top of the head. Noting pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant feeling tones arising throughout the crown of the head. And so we'll rest right there just for a few moments, maintaining even awareness on the sounds and silence of the present moment experience. Shadow, color, light, and space of the visual field, and sensations arising throughout the body, from the top of the head to the bottoms of the feet. And again, you can experience all of that all at the same time as one experience. Now you might notice your awareness wanting to focus or collapse down on a particular sensation or sound or object of the visual field. That's quite normal. If you notice that happening, simply allow awareness to then expand out from what you're focused on, to include all of the sounds and silence, shadow, color, light, and space, and all of the sensations arising throughout the body. And just rest, breathing in and breathing out. And now, while resting here with the silence and sound, shadow, color, light, and space, sensations arising throughout the body, bring attention to the breath as it enters and leaves the nose. Noticing the breath as it touches the back of the throat. And you might simply notice the temperature changing from cooler to warmer in the nostrils and the back of the throat with each breath. Noticing the rib cage expanding and contracting as you inhale and exhale. Noticing the sensations of clothing moving to adjust with the rising and falling of the body across the chest and abdomen with each breath. Noticing the back moving out as you breathe in as you breathe out. Noticing the shoulders rising and falling with each breath. And so we'll rest right here just for a few moments, maintaining even, spacious awareness on the sounds and silence, shadow, color, light, and space, sensations of breath and body, and just rest, breathing in and breathing out. And if at any time you become distracted by your thoughts, simply labeling those thoughts with the word thinking will help the thoughts to dissolve, and you can gently return back to the present moment experience. And now, while resting here in this present moment, awareness of the sounds and silence, shadow, color, light, and space, sensations arising throughout the body and the breathing process. Allow awareness to expand again to include any feelings or emotions which might be present during this meditation experience. We're not searching or looking for any particular feeling or emotion. We're just honoring what's arising right here, right now. Simply looking into the internal field. You might perhaps feel relaxed or pleasant or soft as a result of all of the meditation. Simply notice those feelings. You might feel an annoyance from noise from a neighbor. Simply notice those feelings, those emotions, and hold the feelings and emotions equally in awareness with the silence and sound, shadow, color, light, and space, sensations of breath and body. And just rest. And if you become distracted by thoughts, labeling those thoughts thinking, letting the thoughts go and returning back. Notice how the thoughts are intertwined often with feelings and emotions. See if you can notice the feelings and emotions free from the thinking process. resting with the breath and body, silence and sound, shadow, color, light and space, feelings and emotions, all at the same time. And just rest. So thank you for joining me today for this guided meditation offering Mindfulness of Emotions. Now you'll notice that we just noticed the emotions of the present moment. Again, we weren't digging for any heavy emotional material or trying to resolve anything. But again, just noticing whatever's arising internally. Now, the more we do this as a practice, the more sensitive we become to our feelings in our day-to-day experience. That's one of the great benefits of this practice is we become less reactive. We notice irritation, for example, arising before it becomes overwhelming and then we have to discharge it. Yelling, kicking, punching, screaming, shouting, causing suffering for others. Or the other alternative to that generally is repressing it, which causes our body to become ill. With this practice, we start to be able to recognize that we can simply feel the internal field without expressing it or repressing it. We just feel it, we let things arise and pass on their own. Now, my next offering, which today's Monday, which will be on Friday in Thailand, Friday morning, Thursday evening in America. I'll be offering a guided meditation where we do go into bringing up some moderately challenging emotions. We're not going to go very heavy because that requires assistance from a guide after the meditation practice to kind of help assimilate that. It's not really useful to do a heavy emotional practice when there's not a teacher available on a one-to-one setting. So we'll just, go a little bit light with it, and I'll give all the warnings necessary and guide that process very delicately, if you will. So that's something to look forward to if you feel like you have some tension or stress, very prevalent in today's world climate. There's a lot of anger, particularly in America, over the political divisions there. So hopefully this meditation that I will offer at the end of the week on Thursday evening or Friday morning, wherever you are, this meditation upcoming can help alleviate a little bit of some of that tension. Okay, I think that's all I want to say today. Wherever you are in the world, please do stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. Do wear your masks, practice your social distancing, it all helps. And I will see you very shortly. Okay, thank you.